In this game, my main goal was to get as much gold as possible while avoiding unnecessary fights. I wanted to build up first, then look for the right opportunity to make impact. At the beginning, I am mainly focused on farming. In Heroes Evolved, gold is extremely important because the faster you complete your items, the stronger you become. So instead of forcing fights for no reason, I am looking for safe ways to collect gold. Yeah, you might notice that I am moving around quite a lot. It is not that I'm just walking randomly around. I am checking the map, looking at where enemies are, and deciding where I can farm safely. Right now, my priority still is farming. I don't want to take fights unless I have a good reason to. If I die here, I lose time, gold, and experience. So sometimes the best decision is to simply continue farming. After cleaning this area, I move to the next available source of gold. One thing I try to avoid is standing around doing nothing. If there are no enemies to fight, I can still use that time to farm and get strong. Now, I am starting to look for an opportunity to make a play. I don't want to rush in immediately. First, I need to see where the enemies are and whether I actually have support from my teammates. Another example of why farming is important. Even though nothing exciting is happening on the screen right now, every wave and every jungle camp is helping me get closer to my next item. At this point, I am becoming stronger, so I am starting to think less about simply farming and more about how I can use my advantage. The goal is not just to get gold, the goal is to use that gold to eventually win fights and take objectives. After spending the early part of the game farming and building up my gold, I finally started looking for more opportunities to make plays around the map. Sin sin sin, Whenever I reach a lane like this, I want to clear the waves as quickly as possible. This gives me gold and also creates pressures on the enemy. I use my ability here to clear the waves faster instead of wasting time. Once the wave is cleared, I don't want to stand around doing nothing, so I move through the jungle and look for more farm. The goal is to keep the gold and experience moving while waiting for the next opportunity. And at the same time, I am checking the map to see where the enemies are. I don't want to walk blindly into a big fight. This is where the game starts becoming more interesting. My team is moving toward the objective, so instead of continuing to farm alone, I decide to join them. Objectives are more important because they give your team a major advantage, but you also have to be careful. Starting an objective can attract the entire enemy team. We start the objective, but I immediately have to pay attention to the enemy team. I don't want to focus only on the monster and completely ignore the player around me. So, after that fight, the next thing I want to do is reset and continue farming. One fight doesn't mean the game is over, you still need to use the advantage you gained. This is another important part of the game that people often ignore. After a fight, I don't want to waste time walking around aimlessly. If there is a wave available, I clear it. If there is a jungle farm available, I take it. The more consistently you farm, the faster you reach your important items. And once you have those items, the same fight become much easier. This, at this point of the game, I already had a decent amount of farm, so my focus was starting to shift from simply farming to creating more pressure around the map. But still, I don't want to stop farming completely. The stronger I become, the easier it is to win the fight that actually matters. Yeah, I am checking the map and looking for where the enemy players are. I don't want to blindly walk into a fight when I don't know where everyone is. The goal is to find the right moment to attack, not just attack because I can see an enemy. Now the fight is starting, and this is where positioning becomes extremely important. I want to deal as much damage as possible, but I also need to avoid putting myself in a position where the enemy can easily focus me. After winning that fight, we need to use the advantage immediately. Just killing is good, but the real objective is to turn those kills into something useful. Pushing a lane, taking an objective, or destroying a tower. This is something many players forget. A kill is only valuable if you use the time advantage it gives you. At this point, the enemy team is under a lot of pressure. We have the numbers advantage, so this is the perfect time to push instead of backing away and giving them time to recover. The longer we wait, the more time they will have to respawn and defend, so we need to make use of this opportunity. This is the moment where the game is basically decided. Once we reach the enemy base with the advantage we have, the best thing to do is stay together and finish the game. And that's the game. The main thing I learned from this match is that you don't need to force every fight. Farm when you need to farm, look for the right opportunities, and when you get an advantage, make sure you actually use it.